Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call please. Councilwoman Bozak. Here. Councilwoman Drapes.
Here.
Councilman McGraw.
Here.
Councilwoman Carl.
Here. Approval of minutes for April 10th, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call please.
Councilwoman Bozak.
Yes.
Councilwoman Drapes.
Yes.
Councilman McGraw.
Yes.
Councilwoman Carr.
Yes.
Councilwoman Bozak.
Yes.
Hope I said it.
Approval of minutes for April 17th, 2024.
So moved.
Second. Right. Yeah. Discussion. Roll call please.
Councilwoman Bozak.
Yes.
Councilwoman Drapes.
Yes.
Councilman McGraw.
Yes.
Councilwoman Carr.
Yes. All right, I'm gonna open up public meeting for additional appropriation, resolution 2024-04. This is to move funds from. Sorry, guys, give me a second here. From the general fund to the seed it fund. Ready for or against? And close public hearing. Oh wait, do we need to vote? We need to vote.
You,
Close it and then.
you open it, take
Close it.
comment, and then close it, and now you
Yeah.
can discuss.
It's closed. All right, guys.
And what is this, what was the movement for?
The amount, pay off the. You said the amount. The amount from general, to seed it is $104,256.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Discussion. Roll call please. Councilwoman Bozak.
Yes.
Councilwoman Drapes.
Yes.
Councilman McGraw.
Yes.
Councilwoman Carr.
Abstain. All right, reports, council, do you have anything to report? We're gonna go to Clay.
With regards to Oak Leaf Lane, I forwarded an email on April 30th, been in communication with representatives from Cleveland Cliffs. They tweaked the document and want us to sign first, but have not told me that it's in the final form yet to present to you and to have your president sign it, so we're inching closer, but that's not yet ready for completion. Additionally, this afternoon, I had some visitors to my office. Clerk Treasurer Jane Jordan and Councilman Kurt Jordan came to my office after Mr. Jordan called my office this morning saying he was coming to my office to drop some documents off. Both of them showed up to my office about 2 o'clock and presented to me copies of resignation letters. Both of the letters are dated today's date, May 8th of 2024, addressed to Porter County Clerk Jessica Bailey. Dear Miss Bailey, this letter is to notify you of my resignation of Burns Harbor Clerk Treasurer effective immediately. Sincerely, Jane Jordan. And a similar letter dated today's date to Jessica Bailey. Dear Ms. Bailey, this letter is to notify you of my resignation as Burns Harbor Town Council member effective immediately. Sincerely, Kurt Jordan. Clerk Treasurer Jordan, Jane Jordan also presented me with a pre-printed form for my signature and her signature, which I signed. On May 8th, 2024, I, Attorney Clay Patton, took possession from Jay Jordan of the following town of Burns Harbor property: 2 sets of keys to the town hall, the clerk treasurer's office, and various keys used by the clerk treasurer. 1 town hall key that was assigned to Councilman Kurt Jordan. Various storage devices containing the current and annual backups of the clerk treasurer's computer files and software data. portable hard drive that was exchanged weekly with second drive used to back up the clerk treasurer's office server files. Lenovo ThinkPad E-Series notebook laptop serial number PF4J SE1F and $1,563.11 in Menards rebate gift cards. I did not have a great deal of time to review everything, but I can tell you that there's a computer in there, there's various paperwork in here from Clerk Treasurer Jordan, and along with Menards rebate cards. I did not sit down and tally those. And then there's various backups. I mean, all these existed in one floppy disks and numerous thumb drives. And then keys from her that were presumably Jane's, and then one K Jordan BH Town Hall key. So I'm not sure, I received this information, I scanned and emailed it to the 4 council members for you and asked them to keep this close to the vest until we can announce it publicly tonight. So now I'm asking you, what do you want me to do with all this stuff? And I'll keep my copies of the documents, but I can certainly forward that to, Nicole and or Jill, so just so they can have in the record what I read to you as far as the resignations. Ironically, Porter County Clerk Jessica Bailey was here just about a half an hour ago, giving the oath of office to the new police commission members. And I asked her about these. She was not in the office today, as yesterday was primary election day. She was busy dealing with the aftermath of that and moving election equipment around the county. But I asked her to find these documents in her office tomorrow, do what she needs to do. As both the recently departed elected official who are member of the Democratic Party. It's my understanding under Indiana election law that those will be filled by appointments of the Porter County Democratic chairs, since there's only one precinct that covers the town. So I'm free to take questions, discussion on, short term, how we.
I would say we have a key to the clerk treasurer office in there, we should put it in that office for the time being. Until we, we'll play the key game, until we can figure out what to do with that. I'm sure that some of it may be needed by Nicole. Should at this time.
Be glad to work on the transition and keep the council involved, because I am around town during the day and I've been in close communications with Nicole in the last few
Can we
days.
give her the keys, because then obviously we
Yes.
know.
But everything else can go in the
We'll go into the
office.
office and I'll make sure that gets in there tonight.
Yeah, because there's, things that you want to make sure that are there, you're gonna notice things that need to be there missing. The one thing that that is in my head that's sticking out, the scholarship board, we recently, a few months ago, had all the scholarship board paperwork turned into us, and I had given it over to Kurt Jordan, and I don't see that any of that is there. It was a blue, grocery bag, like a reusable grocery style bag that it was all in. According to from my understanding, I'm not sure who's on the scholarship board, and if it's just Alan, but according to Andy, based on previous times that it was happening, this is around the time where we're looking at things. So just to make sure that we're making sure that that ball is still rolling, I know the Jordans pushing it, I guess.
I can check
Okay,
around.
yeah,
So I'm sure it's.
yeah, I know that it was all the paper, I don't know.
Cause has anybody been, and no one's been in that office, correct?
She was the only one that had
So it could be in there
Yeah.
potentially.
It could be,
to check on that tonight.
okay.
Other than that, I don't have anything.
Thank you.
Wrapped it up, Mike, thanks.
all right, well, while we're, I guess, on the subject, let's talk about, former Councilman Jordan and his appointments that he had, with the board. So I would like to, make a motion to appoint Jack McGraw to the RDC to take, Kurt Jordan's seat.
Second,
Discussion? Roll call please.
Councilman
Sorry.
Bozak,
All right, yeah.
Councilwoman Drapes.
yes.
Councilman McGraw,
Except,
Councilwoman McCart.
Yes.
Okay, I would also like to make a motion to appoint Jack McGraw as the NERC representative for Burns Harbor.
Second,
Discussion? Roll call please.
Councilwoman Bozak,
Yes.
Councilwoman Drapes.
yes.
Councilman McGraw,
except,
Councilwoman McCart.
Yes.
I would also like to make a motion to make Jack McGraw the street department liaison in the interim until we get a new council member to help with that.
Second,
Roll call please.
Councilwoman Bozak,
Yes.
Councilwoman Drapes.
yes.
Councilman McGraw,
except,
Councilwoman McCart.
Yes.
Right, I think that was all I had in regard to those are the seats that I have noted that Kurt sat on. I do not believe, like I said, there's anything else except for that possibility of the scholarship, which we maybe just need to look at the organization of that board.
So I know Jane has the ERC contact with council, that will also have to be.
Okay, do we know who it needs to be assigned?
I know previously it was W. Peppers, and when she left, Jane took that over, so
Okay.
just throwing that out.
I'm just on the town website right now, and it shows Kurt is the RDC commission member, NERC rep, history department liaison, and then it shows Jane as the NERC rep and scholarship fund treasurer.
Have to look further
And
into it.
and so that's another thing that we're gonna have to get our arms around when it comes to check signing authority. And contacting banks and other financial institutions to see what they need from us to remove her as an authorized signer. To remove her as having online access to any bank accounts. You know, is it her resignation letter, is it meeting minutes? You know, we're gonna have to find out what it is that they need. And then as soon as we have a new clerk treasurer, we're gonna need to do the same thing again, to give that person authorization for almost some things.
Do we need to
And
put,
in the meantime.
yeah, do we need to put somebody in charge of it?
Yes, I don't know who has the authority now besides Jane, if Nicole or other staff have that authority to sign
Yeah,
checks.
authority.
Do we have to give her the authority?
Do you know what? Can you?
You know what authority you need.
give her temporary authority till we know what we're doing with this situation.
I mean, do I need to make a phone call to the banks or?
I would
You
that
can.
for council.
I would suggest that the authority be given in this public meeting.
I give the authority for Nicole to notify the banks.
I think, yeah, I would suggest the council as a whole.
Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
do we need to vote on that?
I would, yeah, because I don't want the bank. to-
Okay.
I'll-
Again.
Well, she can-
Oh, you, okay,
Okay, so I'll make the motion to give Nicole the authority. Give Jennifer the authority to give Nicole the authority.
second,
Roll call please.
Councilman Bozak,
Yes.
Councilwoman Drapes.
yes.
Councilman McGraw,
Yes,
Councilwoman McCart.
Yes.
while we're on it, payroll's been done, so there's gonna be checks with her signature on it,
That's fine.
so we just need to talk to them.
Well, anything going from this date forward, but
Yeah, it'll
anything
be
backdated should be
yeah.
fine, yeah,
Yeah.
because her resignation is today, but she signs up this morning, she's still.
It would be like tomorrow, and she needs to sign something.
Yes.
That's it.
And just for the, I guess, the minutes and for the town employees who were present, she did tell me that she processed payroll
Yeah,
today.
so, no, that's, I wanted to get that
We
out.
did receive the email.
We did.
So to ease anybody's concerns about that.
Anybody else have anything right now?
Anything to add for?
If you think of something during the meeting, we can
Go
take
back
care
to
of
it.
it as good as the order.
Okay.
Sure.
Can you follow that? Are we ready? No, thank you. Make sure the bell.
Like, I should have bought some popcorn for the show. None of us, I don't know what to do with Chuck.
I don't have anything except I in the old business, the 2024 payment. And I can
Okay.
update the town council, I'm not quite sure 2023-2. It's actually on this agenda, but I can update you right now, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
So the paving, I believe everybody received the schedule. There's a lot of coordination going on between the school board, the ANS, 911 emergency. I believe there's an existing project right now that is underway, which is the trail by Westport. You see probably the activities there, so we are coordinated with them as well. Once that's complete, I don't foresee any major closure to the street for a long period of time, if any. It'll be after the proof roll test. What I mean by that is testing the street if it requires actually excavation in some areas to fix the sub base of the street itself. But that will be identified after the mill. Usually we test after the. So at this time, there's no closure. If there's any, we will notify everybody immediately by the text message and the email, and everyone probably signs up on. So that's really the update for this evening for 2023. 2024, I think we discussed it.
Done, perfect, okay. All right,
Thank you.
you're welcome, good job, Sean.
Thank you. That was
For taking
easy.
it easy
That
on
was
us.
easy. Much easier.
Well, I don't know what you have down here, but. All right, building commissioner,
I have no report.
perfect. Good job, Chuck, thanks. And street superintendent Brandon, we got an email not that long ago that he could not make it. But they gave us his report, so we're good. Police chief Jeremy,
You got our report today, but, yeah. Nothing of note from that report. I guess the biggest thing was, today was our first Metropolitan Police Commission meeting. In that meeting, I received the authorization to extend a conditional offer to Kyle Paraki to bring him back with the department. And I did briefly speak in that meeting, although I think it probably needs to be addressed here in regards to rate of pay. Probably more for Nicole than anything else. The projected pay rate for him would be the full-time rate for the deputy marshal that's already established. That's all I got.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna move this along.
it might be my fastest meeting.
Okay, right. I know. Better not bother you.
So the fire chief can't make it, but his assistant Brent's here, he's on.
Just a few things, seen, it was kind of slow month incident wise, probably the biggest incident was April 15th, we responded to Town Pines. Very large two-story structure, three-car garage, pulling wall fire, smoke was showing from 20 and 149. Well, we made the turn, we assisted with our ladder truck and one chief. And a few other things, chief want to bring up, we had some maintenance plaguing us with the issues. Right, 3322 had a hydraulic leak for a while, I think that was a previous leak, it was, residual hydraulic fluid that was leaking, so. And that, pump panel had some issues, had to replace a gauge and a little, like a door handle on the pump panel itself. With a latch. AC's been down for about a year or two, finally got that fixed. And, yeah, you're all aware, we had the tires replaced about 2 months ago, and a month ago. So all the issues were taken care of with the ladder, also, the motor on the nozzle is on the tip of our ladder. We're having issues with that, when it go up, does it go down left and right? She finally got the right motor on there, so she's working great right now. She's buggy, it's making a knocking noise, but he's still using it. Bozak has looked at it, but I can't remember what issue he has found or what parts he needs. And our squad 3333, it's a big toolbox on wheels. The steering box blew on it, but that was fixed by our own guys. Chief Nowacki, Rick and Russell Luton rebuilt it, put it back together. She's working fine.
Awesome,
Yep, that's it.
thank you.
Just a comment to you guys on the training that you did, the pictures that were out there, it was good to see the ladder truck in action.
Yeah.
Working again, so hats off to you guys, great job, thank you.
All right, sanitation.
Hey, I'm up.
Yep.
Okay, flow meters for around the station we are in. We installed 3 meters in 3 different locations throughout that system, to kind of hopefully tomorrow, yesterday's, rain event kind of like give us a inkling of May of what happened, back in February, March. So that's done. Air releases along Oak Quarter, both of them have been replaced. That was done today. The starter motors for number 5 finally got replaced. That was done today. We had emergency call out yesterday with the storm. The station 3 had lost power, and it was just a quick on and off type deal. So they had to come out, reset it, and of course found another issue, and I'll address that when I come back tomorrow on Thursday. It's just the call box is not doing what it's supposed to do. So it did notify Nicole like it's a program to do. It did notify me like it's a program to do. It did not notify Brandon, and we don't know why. But so I'll be looking at that on Thursday. Other than that, everything's flowing and everything's looking good. Trying to get the schedule in for the annual cleaning, the spring cleaning. I'll get with Eagle Services now. The weather's finally getting better, and we can get that scheduled and get that completed. So other than that, we're chugging along.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Stormwater, Brandon's not here. Do you have anything to follow?
During the last rain event, we've had very little backup when it comes to the drains, so everything is flowing good. I know we're still looking in the Hadlin Road issue. We talked talked a couple times on that, so we're still got more discussion on that to come up with a result. But other than that, we're doing good.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Park.
Hello, a reminder on June 6th to come out and support the Park Foundation for Giving Thursday from 4 to 8 at the 219 Tap Room in Chesterton. All tips will be donated to the Park Foundation. We're very excited for this event, so hopefully, invite your family, your friends, come and have fun. We're looking forward to seeing everybody.
What day?
It is the 6th.
6.
Thursday the 6th. Also, Kim and the crew are working hard to get the park ready for the season. Opening day is the weekend of May 25th. Also, we are still looking for a lifeguard position to be filled. So if anybody knows anybody interested, please contact the park director. We would really appreciate it. She has already done the rounds to all of the high schools and, asked around to see if anybody put flyers up indicating that we needed a lifeguard. Also, rebuilding Together Juneland was a success. The park looks beautiful. It didn't rain, so we were able to accomplish so much with the mulch, weeding, planting new flowers, and putting new mulch around everything, including the park equipment. So it was a great day. And I think that was it. That's all I have.
Is there any special requirements for a lifeguard?
I'm sure there is, so please contact.
Contact. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Already see, so you can see there's some work going on the trail. You also live here, so you know how wet it's been and how rainy it's been, so we've hit some snags, couple delays because it's pretty wet back there. So we did sign an extension today at the RDC meeting, so now we're looking at a July 15th completion for that phase. And what else are we doing? We are working on refining the RFP for the Safe Streets for All, and we should be ready to put out for bid next week.
Perfect. We have nobody from Shared Ethics. And correspondence. Alright.
I notice of approval air permit exemption for Myers Stores LP Valparaiso. Redevelopment Commission, no assessed value in its tax allocation areas for 2024, pay 2025.
Presentations of resolutions, ordinances.
Additional appropriation resolution 2024-04. I have to read all of these amounts, right, Clay?
Yes.
Okay, you have to read the whole thing. Just start reading it from the top. Whereas it has been determined that it is necessary to appropriate more money than was originally appropriated in the annual budget. Now therefore be it resolved with the town council of Burns Harbor, Porter County, that the expenses for the taxing unit, the following additional sums of money are hereby appropriated out of the funds named for the purposes specified, subject to the laws governing the same. Fund general amount requested, $104,256. Amount approved, $104,256. County Economic Development Income Tax, amount requested, $104,256. Amount approved by fiscal body, $104,256. Adopted this 8th day of May 2024. Motion to approve.
Second. Roll call please.
Councilwoman Bozak,
Yes.
Councilwoman Draves,
Yes.
Councilman McGraw,
Yes.
Councilwoman Smart.
Christine. And then, did we come up with an ordinance to amend?
We need to table that until next month.
So we'll table the ordinance to amend the. For the allowing like golf carts. to
Yes.
operate on public streets.
Well, just to clarify, we already have, they're allowed to be operated.
We were talking about going,
We're just
Oh,
tweaking it
yeah.
to permit the type of vehicle that the one resident came to park.
yes, I don't remember what that.
It's adding the UTVs to that same.
Right. New business. Staff anniversaries, Kim Burton, our park director, who's been with us for 26 years.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
Yay.
Memorial Day program at Hawthorne Park. So I think this is something that happens every year, usually 2 council members go. During the ceremony.
I have gone the past couple of years and I'm happy to go again. Everybody's welcome.
We just have to.
That's on Monday.
Yeah, it's on Memorial Day.
It's like during the day.
Nicole, can you check on the flower arrangement? We usually do for there to make sure that that's been ordered and handled. If you have any questions on that, I can send you a picture of what we did last year, so you can.
I want to say, I just saw something come across my email regarding the invoice, and if you could provide a little bit more information.
Okay, okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
You know what time?
I believe it was in.
My phone all the way down there. I went to go grab it and just. Apparently I don't.
It's usually like right in the, like.
It was like early afternoon, I think last year, Rosanna and I did it last year.
Loading. It's still loading.
Yeah, we can come back to that.
With the date, with the time.
Here, all right, the CF1 statement reviews for 2024 pay 2025 tax statement for Cleveland Cliffs and Lindy. I have a bunch of papers in front of me.
So I believe these were sent from the former clerk treasurer to the council and myself on Friday, the 26th. So I don't know if you have had a chance to review those. I did review those. I did not see any areas of concerns or issues. It appears that, and I did not bring printed copies.
I have printed copies in front of me, if anybody would want to take a look at them.
Are any of the things that are on there, things that have, things, permits lapsed or anything along those lines? I know we had spoke before about, recently about some things that needed to come full circle and hadn't yet. Yeah, I didn't have a chance to look at it that far, I got to, I wanted to look at
I
that.
glanced at them, but that's about it. And whether they've been lapsed or not.
Right.
Yeah, sorry.
And do these, Clay, does this need to be approved tonight, or do we have more time to review?
I mean, ideally they should, since they were submitted, we have 45 days after they're sent to us, and it looks like most of these were sent in April. For us to say whether or not they are substantially compliant. By way of example, the resolution 2015-04 for now known as Cleveland Cliffs, Burns Harbor, they're estimated on their SB1 number of employees was 688, and they're saying that the actual number of employees is 719. The estimated salaries on the SB1 was 76,800,000, and they're saying the actual salaries is 105,016,468. So in my review of all the documents submitted, it appeared to me that there was substantial compliance. But I'm hoping that I was not viewing these documents to the eye of what you said with regards to, certain.
Yeah, I glanced at them and then I, intended to go back and look at that based on our conversations, but I didn't.
Because there's still open permits on that property right now that Chuck and I are working on. That deals with the list or not.
What's our next step? To approve them or not?
To approve whether or not they're in substantial compliance, and I know there's several I don't know if we have those are, what was my understanding was. Or Treasurer Jordan left for you in council chambers with various paperwork on some items to address, and I'm guessing what's in your hand are the original documents that need to be approved, or I should say voted on tonight, whether or not those abatements are in substantial compliance.
You think we should?
I think that you should review them yourselves.
Stuff on the very last page. Well, we have 45 days to.
From when we receive them.
Yeah, 45 days was when,
Well, these were sent
Sent.
on
Well,
April 22nd. And I'm not sure when they were dropped off and how all there appear to be dated April 11th, which was a Thursday, so, and this was sent. So on the 22nd, so I don't know if you would wait for all of them to come in, but I think that review was on Monday.
So what would be 45 days? From. I guess the day that we received them.
You'd be cutting it close to the, let's. 51 days is your next town council meeting on June 12th. I don't think Cleveland Cliffs nor more officials with the county are gonna be. We come into town hall with pitchforks if you wait until June 12th.
Okay. Let's table this for June 12th, if everybody
Yeah, that
could
would-
review them more thoroughly.
And
for
is
any
that
next
for-
meeting.
The yeah, for Lindy as well.
Yeah. We'll just do it all.
And I'm not sure why it was just sent to me, but this morning at 11:09 a.m. The clerk treasurer sent an email to Lauren Alasser with @lindy.com and copied me
It was mine first and then yours. Sorry, our
Regarding-
stomachs are growling down here loud.
regarding an SB1 form. Jane wrote, Lauren attaches the SB1 form completed by Praxair, parentheses Lindy, at the time the abatement was granted. This is the form the council will compare your CF1 form to determine if Lindy is compliant. And again, she sent that to Lauren Lesser, senior property tax account for Lindy out of Danbury, Connecticut, and copied me, so I can forward that to the four of you
Yeah.
and so you could send to the girl, so you could see that. So you have that as well.
Okay.
That'd be great. We'll move all this for June. We'll be more prepared. Did you sign the law points for?
Yeah, Hawthorne Park, 1 p.m., May 27th.
Yeah. Okay. I'll do it.
what is it?
That's the Memorial Day program at Hawthorne Park. We usually send 2 council members. We get a wreath. Do the whole ceremony. So Roseanne and Lisa.
Yes.
I believe we sent us an email last year about
Yes.
speaking cards and whether we wanted to speak or not.
Do you want me to respond back to Brian's email, or do we want Nicole to respond back to that? I don't know, usually it gets organized through Jade and she forwards us to stuff.
Are you, do you have?
I don't think I have emails, so.
Okay.
I will forward you this email and then you can check out the flowers and then go from there.
Alright, welcome. Moving on, scheduled town rummage sale. Normally it's held at the end of July. Yeah, I don't know the dates, hold on.
Might be the 27th, 28th, or is it a Friday or?
It's usually Friday.
27th,
26th and 27th, yeah.
Yeah, it's Friday, Saturday.
Do we wanna keep with that?
Yeah,
Yes.
26, 27 then.
All right, do we need to advertise that?
Yes. So
Thank you, lady.
your list is getting longer, I'm sorry, Nicole. But you have a helper you can put on it, so. Put Jill to work.
Yes.
Large item trash collection is tomorrow, so if you have any large items, get them out there. And. Safety training for Burns Harbor employees and residents, I believe this was a draft.
I've been, well, the chief brought up dates that we could have this, but we still, as a council, haven't decided how we can, you know. I've talked to employees, they are very interested in it, but again, we have to come up with funds to put this together. That we can't do the training without the funds.
We're essentially paying them
Correct.
to be an employee and then we're paying for them to do the training.
Well,
Then we have to cover whatever employee spot that they are coming out of.
right, they're already, I mean, they're already here on duty, we were trying to get on a date. Their schedule to work would just be, they have to work their schedule, the workday schedule around that, so that they could attend this at the firehouse. Correct, I believe? Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's like, I don't know.
I know.
Do you know how much it would be per employee?
He's put on the spot.
It was $5 for a certification. For certification,
For how long?
so I believe the class was 4 hours.
That was the problem that
There's
we
no
talked
way.
about it last time, was getting the 4 hours.
You couldn't take Nicole
From-
away from her job for 4 hours, cause then we're paying her to do her job, but she's not actually doing her job, she's receiving training.
Yeah, so I don't know how, I mean, I would say at this point, we could just have outline a plan and how we could make it work. Around, I mean, it's almost something that has to be done on a Saturday and asking people to come in on an off day to do that. And maybe a flat pay for it versus, cause then you're talking, could go into overtime. But it would be the same thing, you know, with, with the park is. We don't have a large staff, so it's hard to be, you know, ideally you would have 2 classes so that part of us can go this day and part of us can go this day so that everybody has coverage, but we just aren't big enough for that. So I don't know what the best idea is.
Let me run it.
Concept wise, it is good and it's something that's great that needs to be done. I just don't know logistically how we would make it work with everybody's schedule and financially how we would pay for 4 extra hours of every employee's salary.
I don't think it's gonna end up 4 extra hours for every employee, but I mean, it would be 4 hours that they have to take away from their actual work schedule. But let me I'll follow up with those questions and report back to Tom next month.
I guess I'll also get a list of how many in place.
Yeah.
If we're only doing it for like 5, then.
I'll put the whole list together and have a better report next meeting.
Thank you.
Approval of April 2024 financial report.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call please. Councilman Bozak,
Yes.
Councilman Drews,
Yes.
Councilman Bell,
Yes,
Councilwoman McCarthy.
Yes. Approval to pay vouchers with 3 or more signatures.
So moved.
second,
Sorry.
Roll call.
Councilman Bozak,
Yes.
Councilwoman Drapes.
Yes.
Councilman McDermott.
Yes.
Councilwoman Carr.
Abstain. Approval of purchase order submitted with 3 or more signatures.
So moved.
Okay.
Roll call please.
Councilwoman Bozak.
Yes.
Councilwoman Drapes.
Yes.
Councilman McDermott.
Yes.
Abstain. All right, old business, town complex generator status.
NIPSCO assigned an engineer to it. Per Circle R, so he thinks it should be moving. They have the parts, they're waiting for NIPSCO to do their part, but they have assigned an engineer, he has spoken to him and they are making a schedule. And he said he will email me exactly when they figure everything out.
Is that engineer also gonna be the one that's involved in that, yes, going through the storm sewer pipe route?
Different,
I don't
but
know.
different engineer.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's a him question, that's not a me
I'm
question.
not- I would think it would be different, but yeah, that's.
That's a him question.
They are aware of it.
They are, okay, yeah, so we've been in communication.
Thank you.
2024 fire service contract, given the recent events that have happened. We'll table this one more month. I spoke with Clay. I'm gonna reach out to the state board of accounts, see if I get information on what details, like what we need to put in there. See if they can give us advice. Clay and I will work with it. Maybe set up a meeting.
That's fine. You want different dates in June?
I can't get dates right now.
No, you want me to give you dates in June
Or,
for us. Would that make it easier? I gave you, the email gave you dates for May,
yes,
basically already the end of May. So do you want dates in June?
sure. And then Clay and I will,
Is it just to clarify, what,
just the financial part is. where-
but is this for you, me and Adam, or me and Ryan, or?
Well, that was me, you and Jane, but
Okay, well, what I'm getting at is, we don't have to meet. Or, I mean, we could do
Yeah.
a Zoom, we could do it remotely
Okay.
if that's the hindrance, and don't feel like we need to try to put it the front of the back end of sometime that I'm gonna be up here,
okay,
we could do it. Whatever.
Okay.
But I think we need to get the information first.
right. So let me get the information first, and maybe we can set one of the May dates and Zoom Clay.
That's, hey, that's.
Is that okay?
Yeah,
Okay,
so it was that and the training. It was the financial and the training.
training part.
And then, yeah, that's why I invited because I was sitting here going back and forth and playing go-betweens and it got misconstrued, so I thought, oh, boy, let's all be there this day so we can all get it out, because we take their complaints to you and then it got to be a big mess, so I was like, we'll just.
So they're wanting control of the training and how they spend the money in the training, right? Is that what I understand?
We want the fire chief to have control of the training.
The contract that I emailed you guys and the financial part, I believe it's 3F. But again, I'm gonna reach out, see if we can get more information on what exactly the state board of accounts would like to see. Given the recent events that.
It might take a little bit longer.
I understand,
I need some time.
That's fine, okay, it's fine,
Thank you.
no pressure.
Thank you. Fill open positions, we have a lot of open positions. Part-time cleaning staff. A long time ago, Jeremy and I believe Michelle put together. Let me find the words I'm looking for. A list. A list. A job description, those are the words I was looking for. To create this job, to hire an outside person as opposed to hiring an outside company. It'll be a town employee that would come in and do the cleaning. I think we should, since we haven't been able to agree on an actual company coming in, I think it'd be a good idea to put it out there, advertise for it, and see if we get anybody interested that would be coming and clean as a town employee.
Like in addition to whatever hours they are already
No, it would be their sole job.
No, that would be their sole job,
Oh, okay,
cause right now, I don't think it's fair that the cleaning of the town hall is put on
oh no,
one person right now. He is a department head and I don't feel like he should be. But he has been taking responsibility and make sure the town hall's clean. Like before elections and stuff.
Yeah. Can we advertise that? Tomorrow? Put that out there tomorrow, see what we
If you have the description.
yes, Michelle, I'll just send that information.
Your Michelle Workwood.
Yeah, we can get it on Friday. I'm not available tomorrow.
I just have
Oh,
to.
I'm sorry about that.
It's gonna rain.
It's gonna rain all day, you're not going.
Yeah.
It is Thursday because my, sorry, I didn't go on the same day.
They'll be playing.
They passed each other. They literally passed each other last day, oh, I told Jeremy he's going to golf.
My question then would be any applications that would come in with those before the 2D council?
I think, can we have Jeremy do the interviewing, like, you know. Put that on him, they build the job description, and it could be under, oh, sorry. I'm putting you under the bus,
Could Nicole and I do the interviewing?
yes,
I'll be more than glad to be part of that interview, just.
Yeah, okay.
Council person on.
okay. And then we'll go from there.
Do we? So Clay, if we advertise for this position and we find somebody, if we advertise on Friday, we find somebody on Tuesday, do we have to wait till the next council meeting to hire somebody? Is there anything else that we should talk about and put in place? Because if we find that person Tuesday, I don't wanna wait a whole nother 30 days before.
Well, as a part-time employee, do we even have to? Does the council even approve part-time employees?
But do
Can
we
we
have
grant
something in
them?
place for what that salary would be?
Well,
Is what?
under
Oh.
whose department or? Because. You hire department heads and then they hire. Positions and they hire people.
I would.
And does
if-
that money have to be in their budget for that?
Well, that's what I'm saying, so under what department is?
If-
Is it part of the clerk treasurer?
I would say it would be part of the clerk treasurer.
Responsibility.
That would be the best place to put that job, would be under that umbrella.
And this is hours to be worked when town hall is open?
I believe so. I believe that-
Yes and no. There's gonna be some flexibility to it. I mean, this person could clean the common areas of town hall when it's closed. I mean, it'd be very convenient to sweep and mop and do those things when we're not open.
Yeah.
There's gonna be certain access to the police department, the building department, things like that, that'll have to be done during normal hours, the clerk treasurer's office, what have you. But that's all laid out in the job descriptions as well as the expectation list every department prepared like 18 months ago. That's kind of how long it's been now since we've had somebody. So with that, are you saying that through the interview process, then Nicole would have the authority to extend an offer to somebody?
Do we have to make a motion for that?
I think if you give her the authority to. Or through your committee to hire somebody, but I think you need to, is this gonna be a part-time, what's the rate of pay? I mean, I don't know if that's something. we should put
I think I would say part-time, for sure.
on
Yeah.
how many
So up to how many hours?
I think it can only be a two.
Yeah, 2025. But my question would be, would that then entail salary ordinance
Yes.
update as well?
Yeah, and do you have is it a budgeted position? Obviously, you have
Where the money's coming from to pay for this.
you have budgeted. Compensation for council members and for your clerk treasurer, and those are gonna be vacant positions for at least a period of time. So,
Right. Jeremy?
So every department that had cleaning services had budgeted amounts in their budget. The problem is going to be getting that money back from each line item if you're centrally paying it through the clerk treasurer's office. But my department has money in it, the building department has money in it, the street department has money in it, as well as the town. So there was money allocated in our budgets to pay for the service, however, the service is not being provided.
So is it possible to pull money from everywhere to pay a person?
But in the meantime, what Clay stated is, obviously, there is money available in the town right now with the vacancies that are here to be able to pay it until that money could be moved back where it needed to go.
Cause you're gonna, like Jeremy said, you're gonna have to move it around from other departments' budgets.
Or potentially, there are other positions that are paid a percentage from each department in the salary ordinance. So instead of having to move all the money, if the salary ordinance said that 25% was paid from the police department, 25% from, you can piece it all together in the salary ordinance and not have to move the money, which I think would be interesting right now. Trying to take money out of each department's budget to, I think it'd be easier to do for next year,
Yeah,
to put it back.
Rate of what we pay or what you were.
I think the original discussion is that we were talking basically somewhere between the range of $16 and $20 an hour based on
16 and 20 is what I.
$16 to $20 per hour.
Or 20, up to
And-
25 hours. That
Correct.
would keep them under full-time status.
Yeah, the way I've always been told is they cannot regularly exceed 30 hours per week, and that's not because of the state of Indiana, that's based on our insurance. If they regularly exceed 30,
Their average hours.
we have to pay them benefits, and that's where we draw the line.
And we can always start on the lower end.
Can we start it at 16?
As-
Yeah.
And then that gives us room to.
How are you going to control and monitor out the hours? Like if you're saying 25 hours, like are you spending 25 hours a week cleaning?
Me?
Like, yeah, like.
But I'm also not doing everything.
Right, that-
like-
But do you think that 25 hours is?
I think,
you know what
I
mean?
think,
If we
I think
spend-
25 is a lot.
Is that too
Yeah, me
many?
too. Like I feel like I'm gonna be sitting here wiping this table down for the same, for a full hour just to.
So would
look at
you
the time, like, we
say
think that-
15, 20?
I think if we just start out 10.
I think you should do 16 because what do they break it up into more than 2 days? But worst case scenario is that'd be 2 full days of cleaning this place in the building department.
Which it could use it, not obviously every single time, but
Do you have, okay, so what would your plan be in the event that you told, we hired somebody for 20-hour or 15 hours a week and that still was a lot of time, like what else, are there other things to fill this person's time with? Is it just cleaning? Is there outdoor planting flowers? It's just cleaning inside
It's
the.
Just cleaning.
And
I think if we start spreading them out, what's gonna happen is that person's gonna end up working for another department doing something else.
Right.
And this is still gonna be something that's not done.
okay,
So-
so could we say 12 hours, 2 6-hour days? And if they need more time or,
And that's the thing with the hours is how are they splitting it up? Because if there's some things that you want them to do in the evenings and some things you want them to do during the day while you're here. So are you thinking like a Tuesday, Thursday, Tuesdays during the day, Thursdays in the evening? Kind of how how are
I
we
think it depends on the candidate. And I think that's where you have to be like, this isn't while it'd be a good secondary position for somebody.
Right.
If this town doesn't offer a little bit of flexibility into this position, I mean, what are you gonna get?
Well,
Somebody
not-
that you're talking 12 to 20, you're never gonna get somebody. So we have to be flexible as well, knowing that what we're asking for and what we're providing isn't the most lucrative thing in the world. But it would be a good secondary opportunity with somebody not breathing down your neck, but at the same time, I mean, as long as it's the right candidate and it's a good person, I think it's a good secondary opportunity.
Yeah, I just think we just
So
need
they
to
can be
start
flexible with
small.
their days.
Yeah, I just think we need to start small with what our expectations are and then grow from there. If we feel, if we say, 12 hours or
or would
20
you do
hours.
10 hours, 2
Yeah.
more days or? could you break
I
it up
just
into-
think that you should keep it as a 12 to 24 hour per week thing. However, obviously those hours are subject to change. We're not guaranteeing any hours. So once we realize that, hey, this is how long it takes. But there's gonna be times where, like we talked about, there's certain things that hey, clean the windows twice a year. That was in the things. Well, that's not, you can't budget that per week.
Right.
So there's gonna be weeks where there's more, and that's why like there's different things based on all those expectations, but it's lengthy.
Yeah,
And it's gonna take somebody a while to get used to the environment and figure it out. So what takes them 16 hours the first month is probably gonna be 12 hours in the future.
Right.
Not to mention, once the place is actually clean, it should be a little bit easier.
yeah,
So, I mean, that's, I can't ever see somebody work more than 24 hours a week cleaning this place. That's just my opinion though.
Okay, so should we say 10 hours at,
Well, he was suggesting 12 to 25, subject to change. So
Just-
we can adjust
okay.
it.
Yeah,
and then starting pay at 16? So then can we give them the authority to,
I think you set a range and then they, you know, between Nicole, Jeremy and Jack, the committee that.
Yeah. Okay, there you go.
we have to make a motion for that? I make a motion for Nicole, Jeremy and Jack to approve the hiring of a cleaning person and or company
No conflicts.
person for up to 24 hours, starting at $16 an hour.
second,
Discussion? Roll call.
Councilwoman Bozak,
yes.
Councilwoman Driggs.
Yes.
Councilman McGraw,
Yes.
Councilwoman McCollum.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, Sean.
No.
You should have took your chance way at the top there. You had your moment. Sorry.
We're still in that same meeting.
Yeah, we are. I thought we were going pretty quick, but
We did start out, yeah.
2024-02 community crossing matching grant bids.
It's actually not bid,
Oh.
the task order for the grant application
Sorry.
that will be due in July 31st. I believe we discussed this at the beginning of the year. There's two cycles of this grant, CCMG in general, for community crossing grant. The two cycle, one in January and one in July. We missed the one in January. Just because of the new councils and one change and wanted to make sure that you have time to make sure that you get a list or have a list at least of streets. Now it's coming to a time right now, which is July. And sometimes the application takes probably a month and a half to 2 months to prepare. One is to survey the streets themselves, identify the scope, make sure that we identify just about any potential issues in the grant itself. And this grant is $1.5 million matching grant. So it'll be 25% the town and up to $1.5 million from the state of NDOT. So total project will be 2 million.
The town's portion would be 500,000. Is that correct?
That is 25%.
There was mass.
It's right in front of me.
Oh.
I'm not that good, Jeremy. I'm not that good at math.
We have a,
Could we consider, after looking into if Lakeland Park Drive is considered a street, can we consider that as part of the,
I did email Shem in regards to that a while
I
back.
was just talking about earlier, so I wanted to bring it, he thought it would be a good idea.
Yeah.
So it's completely up to the council, the moving forward, that is part of the process actually to list all the streets and make sure that those streets are actually parallel with the state auditor. Any street that is applied for in this grant, it has to be part of the state auditor that you're receiving already funds for it from the LRS or wheel tax, I should say. So we will check for Lakeland
Okay,
Lakeland Park
Lakeland
Drive.
Park Drive, to make sure that it's actually a public dedicated right of way. If not, the town could actually accept it as a dedicated public driveway. There's nothing preventing from doing that. So everybody's telling, you know? And we can add it to the list.
Okay.
So,
And we have
even if it's not.
We have that.
It's actually the old, the assessment list. That is the streets that's actually.
Okay.
That's not.
Recorded in the state auditor, correct.
Okay.
It's all the streets of the town that is recorded in the state auditor.
Oh, okay. So you're looking for us to approve this?
Well, I'm looking,
Or-
the first thing actually, are you going after the entire grant, the $1.5 million, with a
Will
total
we break
price?
it up?
You can, absolutely.
You know, budget wise.
I don't know where we're at.
We did we talk about this last month?
I believe we did.
And
No,
we-
keep in mind, one thing though, this is for next year.
right,
You're applying for the grant, you're committing to the grant, and you're committing for the funds for next year construction.
Could come next year's budget.
That's correct.
2020, yeah.
2025, actual construction will happen. So the disbursement of the money will happen in 2025. Presuming that the town will receive the grant.
Right.
But he needs to give permission to go forward with the grant.
Depending on the budget, or depending if you would like to see $2 million worth of projects or payment, then we need to select all the streets that is actually equal to that.
What has it been previously? Is it always?
Million.
Million,
Mhm.
it's went up.
Right. This year, the state actually is giving up to 1.5 as a match to all the towns, and the town size allows you to actually pay only 0.5%.
do. I mean, the only thing that I worry about is that it's just having the money in the budget. To do with everything else that's going on, but what do we? Like, what roads would we need to think about in there?
That's a tough question. I have, you know, and it's,
I heard like thinking about I just can't think of anything that's like. Gotta get on that, we gotta get that road, you know, which I understand, you know, time and wear and tear, and there's little things that you can't see with the eye, but I don't, you know, there's no. I don't drive all the roads in town like, you know, some of our people do, I don't, you know of anything that. Yes, we have to get this done.
so what normally happened, the last, every year, the town has to do an assessment of all the streets. The last assessment that you had, it was actually submitted December 1st. So you will see all the streets that are rated probably below 5. 6 or below, usually we select those. Or they're heavily trafficked, that we, even if they are 7, we might have to eliminate, just make sure that they have a longevity.
Right,
The cycle of the streets paving in general is 10 years if we have good weather. But sometimes the weather is pretty hit on the streets that, you know, to reduce it down to 7 years or 6 years sometimes. If we get multiple heavy weather.
what about what we had talked about before with the. I wanna use the right word, the pathway or trail on Haglin in lieu of the sidewalk, some sort of trail, was that something that could be included in this grant? With like the, I know we talked about before with the Haglin project, and we talked about putting in that sidewalk trail there,
So unfortunately, this grant is actually directed to paving. And
Okay.
they're very strict about the paving portion of it, so because it is the community crossing grant for paving.
okay,
There is other avenues to apply for if it's a brand new trails or sidewalk or other type of facility, if you will.
Okay,
Whether it's transportation enhancement or, there's a lot of programs through NERC, and I can probably share some of the programs that we have experience with successfully for sidewalk or trails with Jack, and maybe the next cycle for NERC you can apply for, absolutely.
One more question, would that also apply to the paved walkway at the park? One of those,
Yeah.
one of them.
If in fact it's a roadway and an existing sidewalk,
It's existing.
you can definitely adjust or fix anything that it's an ADA issue.
Okay.
So if it's not meeting the ADA standards, yes, you can.
Shem, is this something that needs to be decided tonight, whether they're applying for the grant? Because
Yeah, because it's gotta be in by
July. The only reason that it's on the agenda, it's been on the agenda for a few months, like. We need at least a month and a half or so, like, to work all the grant application. So we need to actually come up with a scope for each street, to work with those grants. So I didn't mean to put the thing on for tonight.
no, that's fine, I'm just trying to think is,
because it's the money that we're just not sure.
oh yeah, and you wanna get your street department head, and I would suggest a meeting between Shem and Brandon and maybe a couple of
We've always
councilors
done that, we've always done a million.
to really get in and transfer to figure out how much and which areas of town you want to.
Okay, but if we don't, if we've only done 1 million and we're comfortable with 1 million, can we? Cap it at that? Should we?
I'm not sure.
And
I
yours
understand
does.
your point.
Instead of going, we're normally every year, every time we've applied for the 1 million, because that was where it was topped out at, now it's at 1.5. So do we just wanna just go for the 1 million instead of the 1.5, because that's what we've done and it's worked for the budget in the past?
Yeah, if I mean, I think it's a great idea, at least for now, at least to give us a jump start on
Yeah.
the grant application itself and not get crunched in time and worry about mistakes, I guess.
Yes.
I really do worry about mistakes. So one of the things we can do actually is to approve up to 1 million, and then during the next few months, or I'm sorry, next month. Because it's 1 month now.
Yeah,
You can decide if you need to actually go for the 1 million, we still have time. But at least we have 50% or 60% of the grant application.
What you may consider is your, kind of your wants and needs. Your needs is the million, it's like, okay, if we're only going for the 1 million and we get the grant, matching grant up to that amount, this is what we want. But let's look at the numbers, let's talk to Shem and to Brandon and assess and say, okay, if we're gonna go do the thing, then you wanna do this. You have your 2 lists essentially.
okay,
And the way that I wrote my task order, actually, it's a not to exceed amount, so if you don't wanna go for the, for 2 million, that number will not be that. So it's a not to exceed number, at least for our services, not the grant itself. My point, I guess, I just wanna make sure that we are ahead.
right.
And if you decide to move forward for the 2 million in the next month, that's wonderful. If not, that's wonderful as well.
Are we in a situation where 2 million this year is like 1 million last year? Like you're gonna get the same amount of work based on inflation costs?
Not really, no.
Okay.
In fact, we've been very lucky with the bids that they've been coming in very reasonably. Well, I shouldn't say that, I should say steady.
Okay,
You
yeah,
know,
I just
they
didn't know
haven't-
how much it would jump, if that's why they increased the amount for the grant, because the work is now more expensive.
I think the reason they increased because it's a popular program, towns and cities, and so the cities and towns love it. And the other thing too, they need more to fix more.
Okay,
So there's a lot of towns and cities, you're in a very good shape, you're down, but the town is in a very, very good shape. But my point, I guess, that the amount was increased because of the demand was high.
okay.
Make a motion that we allow up to $1 million for this grant and let Jim work on it, and then we'll review it, and if need be changed, we'll look at it at a further date before the grant is.
So then I'll wait to sign this then?
It's a not to exceed, so it's really, we're not spending that amount if we're not going for that.
Okay.
So it is, we will cap it if you go for the $1 million to less than that. Or if you go for the full $2 million, then that is that amount, the maximum amount, I should say. The way that I wrote it, like I said, is a not to exceed, so no matter what,
Not to exceed 2 million.
not to exceed our service fee.
Oh, okay.
The service fee is based on 2 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's not based on the one.
Okay.
We have a motion. You vote.
Made a motion to allow Global to move forward with this grant up to $1 million, and we will further discuss it before the final grant is put in.
Second.
Any other discussion?
Roll call please. Councilwoman Bozak,
Yes.
Councilwoman Drapes,
Yes.
Councilman McGraw,
Yes,
Councilwoman McCollum.
Yes. Creating public works department status.
We're still.
in progress.
In progress, table it. Sorry, guys. The sale of the 2015 Ford ambulance. Have we had,
That also has to do.
Looking. Yep.
Still looking, I got a couple prospects, but no, nothing.
We have.
he looking to see if we could trade it in? I think that was the talk of the last.
There was discussion about doing a trade-in as far as for maybe a new buggy. Or trade in for a new rescue, and then I hate, don't get me wrong, I don't come
That's okay.
speaking about this because he's not here.
Yeah, no, that's okay. We
That
can,
was the two discussions that we've had,
Let's
but
put no
we can
bids,
table it and
no
then,
bids at this time.
That way it sold to Hobart.
Right.
They had an issue with their ladder truck and the money.
they gotta pull it.
Yeah.
Their bid. All right, all right, we can skip number 8, because it has been sold, so there's no decommissioning of that yet. And then demolished home trash fee, I believe this is only on here because Mr. Stock at 335 Tagline. His account has been closed,
Yes.
just to make the council aware.
That's what we charge for the MDR money.
Yeah, Brandon got the
Yes.
hands from him. Right. All right, to the order, anybody?
One item, I'm sorry.
Of
I just-
course, that.
It's good.
We almost had it.
No, it's good news, actually, there's some funding that was from ARPA. It was actually allocated to the storm board. Some of this money actually for Hagland itself.
Yeah.
When the storm replacement. The Hagland storm system itself is actually not in a bad condition. There is some points repairs that needs to happen. We might include some of those actually in the CCMD, in fact, in this amount. In addition, the NIPSCO, I think, will fix their own mistakes, I guess, will be going through. So my point, I guess, that money is coming back
Okay.
to the council. And that money has to be spent before,
And then
I'm sorry, under contract before December.
Yes.
One of the few suggestions was the sanitary issue that has been, the overflow that, the other issue as well is salt mill or the salt structure, the
Okay,
shed itself. That is very important because the MS4 will flag that as a red flag.
yeah, that's been an issue for a couple of years now.
Correct, so I just wanna
Okay,
put it out there, and that's all I.
good job. Thank you, John. Anybody else?
yeah, I spoke with,
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Jeremy, you have.
No, you go ahead. You finish, then I'll finish.
I apologize. So, I spoke with him about the, summer work help with high schoolers and everything else. So there's a lot of child, labor restrictions, but I believe it's going to be doable for us for what our needs are or what Brandon's needs were. So I would like to, look at this further, actually deep in, and do it further with the, council or
Like an internship?
not so much an intern, well, there's different things when it goes to internship or versus summer help. So, if I'm just hiring for summer help, there are certain restrictions like they can't drive at certain ages, they can't operate chainsaws, they can't operate something big. But the age in which we're looking at, me and Brandon had talked, the age in which we're looking at, we think that they're gonna be a very good help for the street department. So for the summertime, but.
Are you looking to split with the teen help at the park, the current teen help, or you're looking to
So
hire?
we're looking to hire help for the street department itself and then possibly help sanitation.
Okay, I just wasn't sure if you were trying to split the time with the
No,
people that
no.
Kim had, or you were just asking.
I'm trying to take from Kim and.
I just,
and- Yeah, no, you guys got your own headaches there, no, we're looking at something totally different, but I like to sit down with.
Something to look into,
And then see what direction we want to go.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it.
Jeremy, well, Roseanne was had her hand up too.
So two things, so with the hiring of Kyle Peracki, one, we haven't allocated any purchases for vest this year. I'm gonna need a vest for him. So I would potentially be looking for a motion that would allow me to purchase his vest. We had been purchasing one through Seed It per year,
Mhm.
and that would be not to exceed 1,500. The general consensus has been between 900 and 1,200, depending on sizes and things like that. But that would be something, because otherwise I'd have to wait till June and he'd already be on the road by that point.
I make a motion for Jeremy to approve the buying of a vest,
Not to exceed
not
15.
to exceed 1,500.
second,
Discussion?
did you say it was coming out of your fund, or is that coming out of CD?
That would be Seed It.
Cause they buy one
Just making
for,
sure Nicole.
That's where we've been buying. Roll call,
Yes.
sorry.
Councilwoman Bozak,
Yes,
Councilwoman Drapes.
Yes.
Councilman McGraw,
Yes.
Councilwoman McCarthy.
Abstain.
just one thing, Clay, on the,
Oh, he wasn't done.
oh, go ahead, sorry.
Additionally, for the initial uniform purchase, I have no idea what he's walking in the door with. So this would be in my budget, but I would need a potentially allowing me to not to exceed 2,000 for the initial upfit of Officer Peracki for all of his other uniforms.
I make a motion to give Jeremy permission to purchase uniforms not to exceed $2,000.
And that's within my budget.
Second,
Roll call, please, or unless there's discussion.
That'll also be from the seat.
Nope,
No.
that'll come out of my
That's
budget.
out of his budget.
Just the bell check needed. Yes, please.
Councilwoman Bozak.
yes,
Councilwoman Drapes.
Yes.
Councilman McGraw,
Yes.
Councilwoman McCarthy.
Abstain.
Now,
Do
Rosie.
you have?
It's all yours.
okay,
No.
just a couple more things in regard to, the Jordan's resignation. We have shut off the email, do we need to forward?
I would recommend I shut off access, but
Okay.
especially for the clerk treasurer, she is probably gonna be receiving emails from other people and I would suggest.
Can you shut them off outgoing and incoming?
Well, what I'm suggest I shut off what I know is VPN, so remote access in case she had, access on her phone or iPad or from home or something like that, and so she doesn't have access. But then perhaps have it, unless you want Nicole or Jill or somebody else to be physically going to, I don't know if there's a desktop computer in there and this computer and checking it, but having those emails forwarded
Yeah.
to somebody, and those can be forwarded to more than one person. Perhaps the council president and Nicole for the time being, and then eventually have it shut off. But I'm sure-
That's why I just didn't want anything to get lost in the mix, cause I know we talked about that.
Yeah,
As of right now, I just have them blocked. I can forward them to whoever I need to forward them to.
okay, so they're coming to you.
I have, right now, they're not coming to
When you
anybody.
say block, what do you mean?
I have them blocked from
Okay.
being able to use their
Okay.
email.
Okay,
Does that block them from just here? Does that block them from all their personal devices like a phone or?
I went
Stop
to
them
the-
from, so anytime we let go an employee, I just block them.
I went to law school, not IT school.
I have a lot of questions, so.
What do you have? Do you have any info or no?
I was just gonna suggest the forwarding, but you guys already addressed that, cause that's.
Forwarded, so Jane's emails forwarded to Nicole, and to have any email that's sent direct to Kurt forwarded just to the town council.
Yeah, and I mean, and then obviously you need to update the. Like when I send a message, I'll, type off, there's that Burns Harbor.
So I'll remove him from the group messages, and then,
Who's the town IT person?
That was like.
well.
Brainstorm.
Brainstorm. Mhm.
Cause I mean, you're gonna wanna have them on speed dial, cause you're gonna be removing, you're gonna be forwarding, and then
Right.
here in the next how many other days or weeks or whatever, you're gonna be adding. New people,
Right.
maybe sitting on that seat.
And then part two to my question is, do we need to discuss, their pay for the 8 days of this month that they were prior to their resignation? And how we need to do that, or does that not need to be a discussion in the beginning?
Prorated.
I would think that it would just be prorated, I don't know when the start and cutoff is or how often, and I.
She should have received her last pay check today.
She said she ran payroll, so, but.
And that was, but there was, she worked today. She worked today.
Because of the
And I
heavy
would-
behavior.
I would imagine, I'm not 100% sure on how the ordinance is, but normally, like, if somebody quits if somebody quit plan commission in the middle of the month, they might get paid all for that month. So I would assume that Kurt would not receive any sort of compensation for this month, but I don't know that for sure based on the verbiage in the ordinance, but I don't know how we would handle Jane's pay for the.
I can also check, I believe council normally gets paid the second payroll of the month.
Yeah,
So that.
yeah, so that, yeah. Okay.
Anything else?
If we keep going, God, we got more.
Second, the ARC, I think, needs to be,
Oh,
yeah.
he was
so-
for real.
Yes. The employee responsible charge, which is an NDOT certification. That needs to happen for a person that is in town, an employee of the town.
Did you have your hand?
I heard, I see.
No, I did not.
No, I just know where it's going.
Have training, like.
Yes. They do.
It's a,
Nicole, I think, I don't know, I would be fine with having Nicole do the training and be the new ERC for now. I believe Corinne did it in the past.
yes.
And Nicole is in that spot right now. Do we need a motion? Yes.
I'll make a motion to make him hold the new ERC, right?
ERC.
ERC person.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Bozak.
Yes.
Councilwoman Driggs.
Yes.
Councilman McGraw.
Yes.
Councilwoman McCarr.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I believe there's a motion to.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Bozak.
Yeah.
Councilwoman Driggs.
Yes.
Councilman McGraw.
Yes.
Councilwoman McCarr.
Yes,
Those all.
you're out of here.